All right, here we go. Welcome into another edition of the United Podcast, brought to you by John Russell Hospitality. It is more than exciting in the month of February as we roll along here tonight. Winter sports playoffs are upon us. Some of our winter teams getting right in the thick of playoffs for the first time this weekend. Of course, spring sports starting to get in full season as well. Many of our teams beginning their seasons starting in the next couple of days. And of course, so many great events happening along the way as well. It's a great time to be a Golden Knight. It's a great time to be part of our podcast here this evening. We have such a great plethora of things to talk about tonight, including the events that we have coming up this weekend. Hall of Fame this weekend. We're going to induct our newest class of 8 to the 2026 edition of the Gannon University Athletics Hall of Fame. Of course, home events happening far and wide, and postseason action happening as well. So glad you're with us. If you're with us for the first time, this is a podcast dedicated all to Gannon Athletics. And of course, it is all sponsored by our friends at John Russell Hospitality. We're here at the John Russell Brewing Company through the month of February. Let's show you what we have on tap this evening. Softball, a live guest with us tonight. We'll also preview our 2 big winter playoff events that are happening this weekend. Swimming actually happening right now, so we'll give you a little bit of an insight as to what we can expect for the weekend for PSAC swimming as the men and women looking to send multiple individuals to nationals. We'll also preview the outlook for women's wrestling as Erin Vandiver's squad getting set for an exciting tournament starting tomorrow in West Liberty. That's in West Virginia. It's a 2-day event this year as opposed to 1 day. So we'll give a little bit of insight into that as well. Plus, preview of our Hall of Fame day on Saturday as 8 new inductees will be enshrined into the Gannon Athletics Hall of Fame. Not to be outdone, we'll also have some regular season previews as well with baseball and softball set to go. And we'll reminisce on some of the exciting things that happened from the last week, including our poll that will have the results to that in just a little bit of time. So once again, happy you're with us here this Thursday evening. The John Russell Brewing Company dish today coming your way as well. It's being made as we speak. So before we get to that, let's go ahead and just show you what's on tap because we have a lot this weekend and we might as well show you the schedule instead of talking about it on this Thursday. What's on tap is so large that we had to make multiple graphics for this as we get set for an exciting evening and weekend for Gannon Athletics. We're going to start with the Hall of Fame game and what we can expect for that. Men's and women's basketball taking on each other starting at 1 and 3 p.m. They're going to be taking on UPJ in the Hall of Fame game. But the excitement about that, of course, is who the opportunity feature. And that feature, of course, is going to be our 8 new enshrinees into the Gannon Athletics Hall of Fame. Those 8 inductees, as you can see right now, Chelsea Ansek from volleyball, Matt Barrow from men's golf, Brett Benedict of men's swimming, Pat Kane of football, Zach McKendry from men's wrestling, Sean Morphy of men's water polo, Julie Stazer-Pakevics of women's soccer, and Dave Stuchinski of basketball. So during halftime of the men's game, you get an opportunity to get to see all of our Hall of Fame inductees in what will be a very, very exciting evening to follow for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Those games are happening at 1 and 3 p.m. as we go back to our first graphic. And of course, then we get into playoffs. Swimming at the moment is currently in York, PA, competing at PSAC championships. Numerous Golden Knights with great opportunities to make the national competition. We'll have updates and results on our website, GannonSports.com. Also some pictures and videos to come, as well as I'll be heading out there following the conclusion of this podcast to get some content for Milan Mado, assistant coach Bill Bradley, and the Golden Knights swim team. Women's wrestling also in, well, for this, a 2-day super region at West Liberty University, the first ever NCAA regional for women's wrestling. Should be a great time. Erin Vandiver and her squad ready to go. Head there and try to make nationals. Top 3 in each weight class will advance to the national competition in Iowa, so be sure. it's going to be an exciting 2-day stint as many Golden Knights try to make nationals. Acrobatics and tumbling. We cannot forget about this because it is the exciting home opener for Addie Wommeldorf and the Golden Knights. And, everyone might be overlooking this to the Hall of Fame, but trust me when I tell you, you don't want to miss this meet on Friday night when Acrobatics and Tumbling, who was just on the podcast a short while ago, they're getting set for their home opener tomorrow at 7 o'clock against Duquesne. It is a 10 matchup. Golden Knights, the Dukes are 7th in the country. Winner of this will have a great opportunity to plead their case at the end of the season for national competition. So if you're in the area on Friday, make sure to stop by Acrobatics and Tumbling. 7 o'clock, the start of that game against Duquesne. We have more action for you as we continue our seasons with some winter hybrid teams as well. Fresh off their opening night win against Wheeling, will take on Bloomsburg Saturday for a 1 o'clock away game. And then it's our 2 spring sports that are starting back up this week. Baseball, softball, happening Friday through Sunday for the gents. They're going to take the Shippensburg for a 4-game stretch, 4 games in 3 days for head coach DJ Cannon and the Golden Knights. Baseball in action as well. Softball, do want to make a mention that the tournament that you see on your screen, the dates have been changed as of yesterday afternoon. So softball's opening Glenville State tournament is actually going to be moved to tomorrow as opposed to Saturday because of the impending weather in West Virginia on Saturday. So make sure to plan make sure that you set your DVRs and you can watch those games on Friday and Saturday as opposed to Saturday and Sunday. And of course, not to be the last but not least, women's water polo back in action on Sunday at the W&J Invite. 2 games for them on Sunday as they continue their season, looking to pick up their first win, maybe first 2 wins of the year, coming up on Sunday afternoon. All right, let's go ahead and get right to our dish of the day. It's a great one sitting right next to me, and I want to get a chance to taste it, but I got to show you all first. Let's show you our dish of the day here on this Thursday evening. This is a dish that is Lenten-inspired, and it is delicious. It is a Mediterranean-inspired tuna dish, an ahi tuna dish that a flatbread, the Lenten menu that is coming out for the season of Lent, of course, is we gear up for Easter. That is our dish of the day. It is a Mediterranean-inspired tuna crudo, toasted bread with whipped feta, spread topped with tuna, olive oil, lemon, cucumber, olives, red onion, and dill. I mean, come on. How can you not be interested in something like that? I'll tell you what, this place puts anything on a flatbread. It's delicious. So make sure to come get our dish of the day today. It is our Mediterranean-inspired tuna crudo here at the John Russell Brewing Company. You can get that while supplies last. And make sure, of course, that while you're here, say hello to us as we continue on the podcast, and make sure to give us a shout-out as well. Thanks again to John Russell Hospitality. They do so many amazing things with us and for us, and we thank them for their exclusive sponsorship of our show each and every single week. At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today. All right, back with you here on the United Podcast at the John Russell Brewing Company. A nice week it's been. The temperature has been a little bit warmer here, so a nice Thursday evening to kick off your weekend. Of course, we mentioned Hall of Fame weekend happening on Saturday, acrobatics and tumbling home opener on Friday, 2 playoff events. Women's wrestling Friday, Saturday, swimming in the midst of it right now. They started on Wednesday. They go through Saturday evening, so make sure to stay tuned to our website, GannonSports.com, for all of the information on how you can stay up to date with the Golden Knights run through the regular and the postseason. Speaking of regular season, softball getting ready to start their season tomorrow. Remember, we just told you that there was 2 games, or 2 game dates, I should say, being moved up from Saturday, Sunday to Friday, Saturday at the Glenville State Tournament. And while they get ready to begin their season, there's high expectations for head coach Michelle Wiley and the Golden Knights. A plethora of veterans returning to the team, and also some newcomers that could really shine, especially early in the season when Gannon returns home in mid-March. Earlier this afternoon, I had a chance to sit down with veteran catcher Bella Atherton and head coach Michelle Wiley, talking about the season, some things to expect, and something as far as Pre-game playlists. You're going to want to take a listen to this. Here's our full conversation with softball. T-minus 48 hours or just about until softball begins their season. Not that you would know it outside, although, Bella, it's been kind of nice the last few days, right?
It's been really nice. I haven't had to wear my parka to class, so it's the win.
Is that a staple in the wintertime?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Everyone's wearing their parkas. We honestly get excited to bust them out.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So describe what like a parka is for the viewing audience that doesn't know, because some may not know.
So it's a really big jacket, and we just got them last year.
Okay.
They're new, and they say get in softball really small on the side, and they go down to your knees, and they keep us very warm during games. So we love them.
I love it. Well, let's talk the season, shall we? Because we're actually here. I know February is not necessarily a spring sports month, but it is anywhere this time of year. You're heading to Glenville, West Virginia for the first tournament of the season, but let's just talk the season as a whole to begin with. We talked to you a few weeks ago for your season preview. There was a lot of excitement around this team. You're one of the returners that come back. There are other new players as well who will be a big part of the lineup. What excites you about Saturday and getting ready to play 4 games to start the year?
Honestly, I'm just excited in the environment of game day. Just waking up. I mean, I have things that I do, rituals that I do like during game day every single time, and I can't skip them, but I'm very excited to be around everyone. The energy is going to be great. I'm excited to play our pregame hype playlist. We've been working on it as a team.
Nice.
And that'll be fun. I'm also just excited to be on the field. Like going back out there after practicing. This preseason isn't super long, but it feels long because we're cooped up inside. Once we get outside, I'm so excited to be out there.
So I have to ask, take me through the pregame ritual. What does a game day in the life of Bella Atherton look like?
So I wake up and I do my devotional that I do every day. It's kind of like every day. And then I eat protein oatmeal. I eat the same breakfast. And at the hotels, I'll have oatmeal there, and sometimes I'll even take my protein powder and like put it in. But,
you're the stereotypical protein on top of protein on top of protein. All right, cool, gotcha.
And then on the bus, I listen to music, like hype music, and then after I'm getting locked in on the bus, it's like go time. So we get out there, we put our pregame hype list on. Normally I'm in a bullpen first, catch whoever, get ready, do catcher every day, and then jump right into it. And very excited. I
feel like it's riding a bike again, right? When you get to the beginning of the season, you're used to it, you've done it, but it feels like you got to get back into the swing of things. How quickly does it take to get back acclimated into the day-by-day situation in the season where you're playing games almost every day, it feels like?
I feel very prepared this season for going back and just going out there the first game. Normally it's just the first inning. I have like the pregame. I wouldn't even call them nerves. I would call it excitement. That's something we were talking about. Nerves and excitement go hand in hand with the dopamine. So I'm just excited to be out there, and the first inning's definitely a little bit more exciting than all the others, but after that it's just goes full force, and I'm very much ready for it.
Let's chat about the games you're going to play. You've got a couple on Saturday, a couple on Sunday. You've got some early ones in there as well. You play a lot away from home before you get back home. Of course, this is the first of 2 major tournaments you're going to play. You're going to go to Florida after this to play games in the Space Coast as you do every year. What is the expectation for the first weekend here, and what you're hoping to accomplish to start the season?
Honestly, it would be amazing to sweep this whole tournament this weekend, but honestly, I know Glenville might be one of our tougher games. Every year they put up a good competition against us. First year was a little iffy because the weather wasn't cooperative with us at all, and
it may not be this weekend.
Exactly, but this year, I think honestly we've been doing a lot in here and working very, very hard. So I would say that we could go and sweep this weekend and set the bar high. If we fall a little below, then hey, it's first weekend out, and just being around everyone is going to be like the most exciting part.
And you talked about early season jitters are expected, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have them, great. If you do, what is the key to getting over those early in the year when you're in your first couple of games, first few innings, you're still probably trying to figure out the lineup, who's going to be in the circle for the majority of the year? How do you get over those as someone who's been through it a time or two?
Honestly, so we have a little Bible study on our team that we do, and one of the things that we talk about when we get anxious is to just like take a step back and observe the field. Observe where you're at. I mean, we get the opportunity to play such an amazing sport every single day of our life. Like, not a lot of people get this opportunity, so just being grateful and having a lot of gratitude in the moment, and not getting tied into the mistakes you make, or just taking it pitch by pitch, and so what, next pitch is kind of my motto.
So I have to ask, what songs are the most hype on the pregame hype playlist?
Oh gosh, so everyone has a little bit of different preferences. We have a lot of country on there.
Okay,
we
all right.
do have a lot of throwback. It's probably the throwback hype playlist that gets everyone
Like, how
excited.
far are we going back?
I would say 2000s. Yeah,
That's not that far back.
It's not, but 80s, we have some 80s music in there too. We've been listening to 80s music during practice, and everyone's been loving it, and it's been super hype. So those have made their way in there too. I'm very excited.
I don't know if you noticed, but your head coach off screen just gave a big fist bump whenever you said the 80s, because that's it's still not that far back at the time machine, but 2000s. I mean, come on, we're totally cool, we're totally fine.
Yeah.
All right, so from your spot as the battery mate of whoever is in the circle, and your job as a catcher, of course, your job is to see the field, get everything ready to roll each and every single play. What do you hope from the team as a whole this year? You have some newcomers, some different positions that will feature some different new players. What's the hope for this team this season as you get ready for the year?
Just working together as a team game by game, and kind of just feeling it out and meshing together. I feel like when we do have some newcomers coming in, the first game, maybe even if the first game they kind of have a little bit of nerves or are excited to be out there and have the jitters, but after that first game, I feel like everything starts to mesh a little bit more. And honestly, I would even say the first inning is the first inning is normally the most excited, nervous, you have all of the feelings, but after that, I feel like, and a lot of our girls, the freshmen coming in, they have been looking amazing at practice, and they've been putting in a lot of extra work and working very hard. So I'm not honestly worried about them at all. I think that they will be a very key aspect to this team in many different ways.
I was going to say, it seems like you have a great bond. The newcomers are coming in and playing very well. Every time you've talked about being back with the team in a game setting, you've smiled, you've kind of had a little bit of a smirk. What's it like getting to actually play games, to have that team atmosphere, the team environment? And, you know, although you don't get to play at home for a while, it must be pretty cool to take these road trips because it's where you bond the most. Yeah,
we definitely do bond on the bus, at the hotels right before the game, on the bus right before we get to the fields, and then even at the fields. It's just every game there's some new memory tied to it, and every year we were just talking in our last huddle right after practice about memories from last year, and we think on these things, and in the moment it doesn't seem like something that's going to stick with you or be like a big key aspect, what we're going to talk about later on, but it's just those little moments that you don't expect, and honestly, I'm just excited to be with everyone.
So I have to ask, we've talked about the pregame hype, we've talked about some pregame rituals. Is the stuffed animal trend coming back this season? and if so, what are we looking at this year? Are there any superstitions, fun trends that we can expect from the team this season?
I would assume that Remy will probably make an appearance this year again. Other than that, we have a belt, a big like WWE Gannon softball belt that will probably pass around. It'd probably be the home run that you wear the belt, and the hat, the cowgirl hat that we have when you hit a home run. That'll be fun too. But other than that, I feel like we also have our little wolves. Everyone has little wolves. We're like a wolf pack, and we sit together. I have mine in my bag, and we bring them to every game just to symbolize the whole wolf pack and being together as a team and being one.
We've talked about the expectations and the excitement. As you are one of the leaders on this team and you have a few, what is going to be the key to keeping consistent this season, knowing that you have high expectations as you do every season?
Yeah, honestly, I would say just taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other on and off the field. A lot of the time, like on the field, you can see it, but off the field, we come in, we take reps together, we have open hitting together, and just working with each other, helping each other out, having the best interest for each other, because we do have a lot of healthy competition on this team, but honestly, I want the person for a spot, or if I'm competing for a spot, we have a mutual like respect for each other, that like we want them to do amazing whenever they get an opportunity or whenever they're out there. So just kind of having respect for each other and being really good teammates will probably take us the farthest.
All right, Coach Michelle Wiley joining us now, and cross your fingers, hope the weather is good for Saturday. Is the forecast supposed to be nice in Glenville? I have no idea. I feel like West Virginia is always a up or down. It does.
Yeah,
you don't really know.
I keep looking every day, so it changes almost every day. Right now, Friday looks okay. Saturday gets a little colder with maybe snow in the morning, but then it gets into the 40s, so we'll see. We've had 80-degree weather down there and 40-degree weather before.
It's something you're not used to, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just gets us ready for the season.
A chance to get ready to be outside too, right? Because we've had some nice days the last few days, but you haven't had a chance to practice outside yet. Is that something that you have to just adjust to? I mean, it sounds silly. We know this weather, but is it an adjustment period when you go from inside to outside after so much time in this field house practicing?
Mostly pop-ups, things like that. Like, that's really the difference. We'll be playing on turf, so that helps that we're not on the dirt right away. And even when we go to Florida, they have turf fields, so we'll at least be comfortable on those fields. But it's the wind, where's the ball going? Yeah. That kind of stuff that we'll have to adjust a little bit, but I think we should be fine.
First few weekends, you get to go a little bit further south each time. You go from West Virginia this weekend, and then you follow it up with a trip to Florida, where I think you're playing 10 games, 8 by the team and 2 from the D team. What are you looking forward to most in those 2 tournaments, in which you're going to have a bunch of games under your belt when you get back?
Yeah, seeing how we all play together, it'll be nice bonding, both on the field and off the field. Seeing which combination, the lineup, that kind of thing. But I think just getting the experience for the ones that are new on the team, but then showing the veterans, showing them the way as well. I think just, being outside, playing together makes a huge difference. Preseason can get a little long at this time of year, so we're just excited to get some games in for sure.
How do you feel about the mix of your lineup? I know you're not going to have a good handle on it maybe until the conference part of the season, but going into game 1, where do you sit in terms of who you like where, depth chart, things of that nature?
Yeah, Katie's back on the mound. I think she's going to be great. Bella's been behind the plate as well. So we have some people that have and have played a lot with us, like with Whip and Jenna and Emma Schmierik. Then we have some new faces as well. Miranda, she's a freshman pitcher, and then Emily Spears is another one who will also get some playing time that I know right away. So,
what are you expecting out of the first-year student athletes specifically? You know what you're going to get from the vets, even if they don't start out well. But for the freshmen newcomers that come in, what's your message to them when you start playing this weekend?
Yeah, I always tell them any position is up for grabs. Our philosophy is you hit your way into lineup, minus pitching, right? That's a different world, because we have some POs that don't hit, which is fine. But I tell them everything is up for preseason, right? And so, push each other, work hard, and good things are going to happen. And so, if I start freshman, then I start freshman. If I start an all-senior class, then that's what I do. But I want the best lineup out there regardless of their class.
It seems like from a personality and from an understanding point of the season, your team kind of just gets it. It's just whether you're in practice or you're seeing them in class or interacting with each other, they just have an idea for how you need to be successful, whether it's being light in light moments or being intense and intense.
Yeah.
Is that something that you really hold on to this season, that this team just feels like they get it, especially the newcomers early in the year?
I think so. I think we always talk about, when you play well, when you're, playing free, you're not focusing too much on I got to do this, but healthy competition is always good. I have great assistant coaches that help with that as well, and so we know there's a time to turn it on and there's a time to have fun. Coach Chet, she introduced competition Fridays, so we have the girls in different groups, and the one day they had some agilities to do, and then they were making a puzzle, and then it was going back and forth. So just things like that. I think also builds our team chemistry as well. And
it's something that I'm sure will bode well when you go into the weekend. I want to preview these games a little bit because Glenville State is one of your big challenges. You've got 3 others as well. Take me through some of the matchups this weekend, maybe what we can expect over this few-day tournament. Yeah, well, West Virginia Wesleyan, they're always a tough. Steve's been there forever. I always go back to my 2018 team when we won the playoffs, and excitement we had with that was crazy, but they always put up a good fight. West Virginia State, the same thing. We've played them into NCAAs. Duville is just, we've started to play them. They came down here last year. We did well, but they put up a good fight too. And then Glenville's always tough. So, have some good challenges out. We have a great lineup that we have a combination of our pitching,
power hitting, speed, and that's something we've been working on the last couple of years, is to get more speed, because we've always had some power, but with that combination, I think we can be successful.
Perfect segue. I was going to talk about the lineup. You're going to have a lot of speed, agility, and people who can run the bases frequently and with efficiency.
Yeah.
How important is maybe the aggressive part of when you get on base going to be this season, trying to score as many times as you can early on?
I think that's going to be key. I mean, we talk about winning the inning every time, whatever that may mean at that point in time. But, I want to steal bases. I want to, do hit and runs. I want to, do the squeeze plays, So, I think if you come with a lot of different angles, something's going to fall in place. But really our key is, and if we win the inning, I think we'll do all right.
Let's look a little forward to Florida in the 5-6 days you'll be spending down there. A lot of games, a lot of really quality opponents. This is a great job putting on this sort of a tournament. Take me through the first few weeks and then leading into that tournament, what that's going to look like for you before you start to get it back into this area a little bit.
I think it's nice because, we can get a variety of people in different games, see where they're most successful, top of the lineup, middle of the lineup, even in the field, right? And who are the people that we can count on and rely on? Some people will jump right in at those opportunities right away. Other times, it might take a little bit of time for some of the freshmen or people that haven't had as much playing time. But the big thing is we're a family, and so being able to support, and we talk about being good teammates and next man up, right? And so that I think is one of the key things. A lot of people are going to get a lot of different opportunities, and then coming back, we'll play a DT game as well, and then we'll go to Tiffin, and then we start conference. And Tiffin's always a great challenge too. So I mean, I think it'll give everybody a lot of opportunities to show us what they have, and then conference 28 games goes by fast, and hopefully the weather agrees with us.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be 12 games into the season already by the time you get through the first 2 weekends. The season flies, that, and I know you're looking for a lot, high expectations, conference-wise, NCAA-wise. If they to where they ultimately want to go, what are the few things that need to happen on a day-in, day-out basis?
I think consistency. I think that's probably one of the biggest keys. Forgetting about a failure, right? The game's a bunch of failures, right? You bat 300, you're going to be all conference. And so I think just forgetting some of those things is going to be important. And then just being, supportive of each other. But it's consistency at the plate, on the mound, even fielding and those kind of things. So if we can be consistent, I think we'll do just fine.
So softball begins their season. A reminder on Friday, the interview we had taped before the schedule changed. So Friday, the first 2 games against West Virginia State and West Virginia Wesleyan for softball. And then on Saturday, it's DeUville and Glenville State, the opponents for the Golden Knights. Baseball, softball now both beginning their seasons tomorrow in what's going to be the now meet of the spring sports teams that have begun their seasons. Men's and women's golf still a couple of weeks out from beginning the spring portion of their season, but that will come sooner than later. Also want to remind you as well, some of our events that we have coming up this weekend: acrobatics and tumbling, home for the first time this season tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Addie Womaldorf for the Golden Knights, ranked 9th, take on the 7th-ranked Duquesne Dukes. More home games as well. Men's and women's basketball on Hall of Fame Day. We'll be at home at 1 and 3 p.m. against UPJ. There is our class of 2026. Halftime of the men's game is when they will be honored at the game. And then, of course, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony is later in the Yale Ballroom on Saturday evening. So excited to see that entire day and that class of great former student athletes and coaches come back to the campus that they called their own stomping grounds. A reminder, you can get our dish of the day, the Mediterranean-inspired tuna crudo, at the John Russell Brewing Company tonight and any day that it is available here inside this beautiful venue and wonderful restaurant of the John Russell Brewing Company, part of a great partnership between the United Podcast and JRBC each and every single week. A couple of honors to get to. Congratulations to 12 Gannon Golden Knight men's water polo student athletes for earning a spot on the men's all-academic team. You can find that full list and the criteria in which they needed to get to that full list on our website, www.gannonsports.com. Also, athletes of the week, Dorian Crosby tops that list for Gannon, named the PSAC Wrestling Athlete of the Week for the week of February 17th, the final week of the season in which the Athlete of the Week is named for the PSAC. Dorian comes in looking to claw his way to a national championship after defeating 4th-ranked Isaiah Vance last Saturday and what was a PSAC championship clinching win for the Golden Knights. In case you missed it, here's a look at how it went down last Saturday between the 3rd and 5th ranked team in the country that ultimately won the Golden Knights, their 3rd team title in program history. Tonight, the stage is set here inside a raucous Highmark Event Center as the Golden Knights rank our 3rd PSAC championship. Across the way, the UPJ Mountain Cats, a team that has given Gannon fits in each of the last few seasons. Can the Golden Knights flip the script tonight? Find out right now. Echeverria down 3-2, needs a takedown late, crosses the arms, goes behind the back, he's got 3. Jerry Echeverria has tied this bout at 3-3, and the Golden Knights are back in it. Niff picks the leg, looking for 3, and he's got it. To the mat, down goes Ozias, and this crowd is in a frenzy as the Golden Knights take their first lead of the evening. Still a 1-1 bout at 157. Hume has something, goes behind the back, rolls over Warshall, looking for 3, stays in. Got 3. Holden Hune has given the Golden Knights the lead at the break. It's 9-6 Gannon with Grant McKay waiting in the wings at 165 pounds. Still some hand fighting in the middle of the mat as McKay tries to go down low. He's got the right shoulder, now going for the left leg. He gets his man down to the mat, looking for 3, goes behind, he's got it. Grant McKay, that's a takedown, and it's a 4-0 decision for Grant McKay, and the Golden Knights extend their lead to 12-6 with 4 bouts. And Jackson's going to ride this out. He does not allow a point. And it's a 2-0 decision for Pats. And the Golden Knights need just one more win to take this title. It all comes down to this man, Dorian Crosby. With Gannon up 3, they turn to their number 1 to close it out. Dorian picks the leg advance. He's got him in the air. Can he get him down? Crosby fighting, driving. He takes down Vance to the mat. It's 3 for Dorian and an early lead for Crosby. He's got Vance in trouble. The clock winds to 0 and it's history at the Highmark for the first time since 2022 and the 3rd time in program history. Your Gannon Golden Knights are PSAC champions. And the Golden Knights win the PSAC championship, and the 3rd-ranked Gannon Golden Knights now get ready for the regional competition at East Stroudsburg. Next week, we'll have full coverage of that, as we do with all our postseason competitions on our website, GannonSports.com, and on our social media channels. What a job by Dorian Crosby, Grant McKay, Jerry Echeverria, and all the Golden Knights who picked up W's in that win over UPJ. And with the win, by the way, Gannon men's wrestling eclipsed a program record for wins in a season with 12. It was originally 11 wins in the 1996-97 season, so Gannon has surpassed that mark as well. All right, a couple more things in tonight's show before we wrap things up and get you ready for a busy but exciting weekend. Earlier this week, last night at the men's and women's basketball games, we had an opportunity to honor one of our own. We brought you just a month or so ago that Dr. Ginny Yu, a professor at Gannon University and one of many academic advisors for several of our student athletes, was going to be granted and awarded the inaugural LP Hill Award. It's an award sponsored by the conference in conjunction with all of the schools in the PSAC that promotes inclusiveness, unity, and togetherness in sports. Dr. Yu surprised what she thought was a mock interview about a month ago, and we told her that she would be honored at a most recent Gannon basketball game. On that game on Wednesday, we had an opportunity to touch base with some student athletes and some administration who work closely with Dr. Yu on a daily and weekly basis to share why she indeed deserves this award. Here's some student and other testimonials and a thanks and congratulations to Dr. Ginny Yu, our recipient of the PSAC's inaugural LP Hill Award.
She's been there. She's been like that rock that like anything that comes up, you can go to her and she'll find a way to help you.
She's helped me with so many letter of recommendations and just helping me find opportunities as well.
She came to most of the games and of course PSAC championship, and without her support probably we couldn't win anything.
She's always like asking how it went before talking about the work, and she's really about the personal side of the athletic.
Dr. Yu is very kind and really helpful in class. She also always supports women's water polo. Thank you, Dr. Yu.
She's really informed where we come from, and I think she feels what we feel.
Dr. Yu is an incredible example of supporting our student athletes in and out of the classroom and creating a truly welcoming community. She is a constant presence at all of our athletic events, cheering louder than anybody else in the stands. We are so incredibly grateful for her continued support and honored to recognize her with this meaningful award.
It means a lot to have her as not only a member of this school and somebody that helps us so much in the classroom, but somebody that supports us here as well.
She's one of those people that I can look up in the stands and like, oh, there's Dr. Yu. And you know, that really means a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Yu. You have helped me a lot.
Thank you for everything that you've ever done for me, helping me through school, helping me through the whole process of becoming a professional in the athletic world.
You are one of Gannon's best professors, and you definitely deserve this award.
Thanks for not giving up on me. I know I probably had a few days where I was a little over the top, but yeah, just thank you for buying in. Thank you for being committed to our excellence here.
At Gannon, we are so proud of our connection between our students, athletes, faculty, and staff. Dr. Yu defines what it means to be a servant leader.
From her dedication to teaching several of our student athletes, to taking time each week to attend both home and away athletic events, she is more than deserving of this inaugural LP Hill Award.
Congratulations, Dr. Yu. Your Gannon spirit is infectious and unifying. Go Knights.
Just some of the many individuals that Dr. Yu has touched the hearts of and made better, whether they're people, student athletes, students, however you want to describe yourself, made better in the vision of Dr. Yu. She's been so instrumental, so many people on the campus of Gannon University, and a more than worthy candidate and honoree of this inaugural LP Hill Award, Gannon University's recipient. All right, before we let you go, we want to show you the results of our podcast poll this evening. We do one every week as a reminder. Just started this up a week or so ago. You can vote on Instagram a couple of days before the podcast begins, and anybody's eligible to vote. But this one was geared more toward our student athletes. It was a simple this or that question. Do you like a pregame nap or pregame music more? I was a bit surprised by these results, to be quite honest with you. I anticipated that student athletes, I was a student myself, I know how important sleep is in college, but it was music by a 2-1 margin that took hold of the victory from our student athletes that voted on this. Most of you, I guess, really like your tunes as opposed to taking naps. I would be the other way around, but hey, whatever makes it work, whatever allows you to be successful in competition, there is an art to getting you pumped up for games too via music as well. So thanks again for voting on our podcast poll. We have another poll coming out early next week, and we'll reveal the results of that poll a little bit later on in each podcast that we do here at the John Russell Brewing Company and other locations as well. Well, from everyone at Gannon University, we want to say thank you for being part of our podcast tonight. Thanks to softball for joining us. Good luck to all of our teams competing this weekend, whether it's the spring sports teams that are starting or continuing their seasons, acrobatics and tumbling, who is home tomorrow night for the first time all season, swimming and women's wrestling, who are in postseason competition as we speak, and of course, the Hall of Fame game coming up on Saturday with men's and women's basketball. And one more congratulations to all of our 8 inductees in the 2026 class of the Gannon Athletics Hall of Fame. We will see you all coming up next week. The 26th of February is our final show of the month. We'll be back here one more time at the John Russell Brewing Company to get you ready for more playoff action, and the season just continues to march towards March. No pun intended. Maybe outside of November, the busiest month that we have in college athletics, and we are all here for it. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. We'll see you out at many of our home events. We can't wait to watch with you for our teams competing on the road. Until then, have a great rest of your week, everybody. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week for more United Podcasts.